name is Samar. I also go by Sam or First Time Panner. Any of those you want to call me, you can. This will be a get ready with me featuring only products available at Sephora, except for my applicators like my brushes and my sponge, because I haven't bought any makeup applicators in over a year, so they're all either discontinued or not available at Sephora. But other than that, everything is available at Sephora. And of course I'm doing this because the Sephora sale is currently going on the day that I'm filming this. This is the third day, and I will definitely get this up before the Sephora sale ends. I'm just so behind on all my filming and uploading and editing because I've been really busy and tired and I keep falling asleep. Hopefully none of this stuff is sold out by the time this video goes up. Additionally, most of this stuff is new to me, so it's either new on the market and I have not gotten around to trying it yet, or it's old but I just bought it very recently and I'm excited to actually use all of this stuff. And I'm just gonna get started. First, what I always do before I start makeup application is I put on lotion, and where is it? Okay, here it is. I already had put it in my bag. I have just like a makeup bag full of all of the stuff that I hand selected to be in this video. But I always start with putting on lotion and some sort of like lip mask on my lips to kind of just hydrate while I'm getting ready before I put on my lip product. And I always need lotion because my hands are always dry. I have really bad eczema that always flares up when I'm stressed, and the past 3 years I've always been stressed. This is the Ultra Repair Cream. This one specifically is the vanilla latte version that I got last holiday season, but I mean, I love the Ultra Repair Cream formula. I tend to buy the Gold Bond over this actual one, but when Sephora has those minis for the 100-point perks, I always snatch up as many as I possibly can because I love them for my purse. This is the Clarins lip oil. This is just a little mini that I got as a free gift with purchase, but this is the Lip Comfort Oil in the shade 4. I'm not exactly sure what shade it is, but it's going to be clear on my lips. I've actually never tried this. I know a lot of people swear by this though, and it's like their favorite lip oil, so hopefully it's actually good. It smells really nice. It smells like fruity candy. And if I look like I have T-Rex arms, it's because everything is very close to me. I'm in a cramped space. But that feels really, really good. Some people say that this reminds them, or the Milani lip oils remind them of the Clarins lip oil, and so far I would have to agree. Not only is the scent very reminiscent of those lip oils, but it pretty much has the same consistency. Potentially they're both on the thinner side, which I think lip oil should be on the thinner side because oil is thin. This is sounding really weird, but I would say possibly this is just slightly thinner and a little bit more slippy, but it is very similar to that. But I think I will enjoy using this very much. It seems very nice so far. I usually start with my eyes, but I'm gonna start with my face today. So this is a sample of the Professional Pore Primer from Benefit. I've actually never tried this primer, but I got a free sample in a Sephora order that I made, so I'm kind of excited to try it because this is like a cult favorite. Also, if you can hear my stomach grumbling, I'm so sorry. I haven't had anything to eat or drink today because I'm running very late. I have to meet up with a friend soon. But you also might hear my voice give out because my throat's very dry. This is, sorry, it looks kind of weird because I had to squeeze it out of that sachet, but this is what it looks like. I'm sure I actually put way too much on my hands. I'm going to use just half of this actually because I really don't think I need the full thing. Actually, maybe I'll use a bit more on my forehead because I have a big forehead, but this feels like it has a silicone-y slip, but in a creamy way. Like, I can tell that it's not going to be a hydrating primer, but I don't know, it feels more like a cream than just a dry silicone primer, like the standard one that you would find at like Elf. Oops, did I mention Elf in a Sephora video? I think I'm just gonna use the rest of this actually. And I'm really gonna concentrate the extra in the places where I have the most pores, which is like around my nose and like this part of my cheeks. and then like right here on my forehead. Okay, because I literally used enough for 2 applications, I can tell that my skin is very mattified and it looks extremely blurred. I am getting a tiny bit of pilling around my chin area, but I think that's because I used way too much. Also, if I'm sweating, yes I am. It's very hot in here, but my AC is way too loud. Now I'm gonna use the Makeup Forever HD Skin. This is in the shade 2Y36 or Y365. I don't know if it has like an actual name. This is my second, well technically the first one was like a mini, but this is the second bottle of this that I've had. I love this foundation. It's kind of an in-between shade for me, so if I use this pretty sheared out, I can kind of make this work at any time of the year, and I am in my in-between shade right now anyway because I'm losing my tan. But that was just one pump. I think I'm gonna, okay, I think there was a dry bit in there because that just squirted everywhere. Okay, that explains why I got like barely any out on the first pump. I might not use all of this, but I'm just gonna apply it. And yes, I do apply my liquid foundation just with my hands. It's just easier and faster that way. And on top of that primer, this is going on like really smooth, but I don't know if it might be like a little too drying. This is my gigantic Sephora body sponge. This was discontinued last year. I bought it because it was on clearance. I actually really like it. It's unfortunate I can't get it anymore, but I'm just gonna blend this into my skin. And yeah, I do have 2 different injuries on my hand. One was just for myself from being silly, and then one was from Roxy. I feel like every time I talk about an injury on my channel, I have to bring up Roxy's name. This actually looks so good. Oh, this is my mirror that I'm using. It was supposed to be a mirror with lights on it, but I got it from Marshall, so of course it doesn't work. But that looks really good actually. Typically I go in with like a hydrating primer after a like mattifying or pore filling primer, but I kind of wanted to see how that primer would work on its own. And at least so far, like maybe throughout the day it potentially might be drying. If it is, I'll put that in the description box with just some thoughts. But right now this looks really good. It kind of completely perfected my skin between the like light medium coverage of this foundation and the pore filling properties of the primer. My skin looks flawless. This is something I've clearly never opened before. I just got it this past month because I recently finished my previous concealer. This is the Sephora Collection Best Skin Ever Multi-Use Concealer in the shade 14Y, which is like a light medium yellow toned concealer shade. I'm really hoping that a lot came out on the doe foot. I'm hoping that this does not make my under eyes look dry because I already have very wrinkly under eyes just naturally. That's how I've always been since I was young, and my under eyes tend to be on the drier side as well. So I'm just gonna play it safe here, and well, first I'm gonna actually scrape off all that excess on the doe foot and just put a dot under each eye. I'm gonna take this concealer like flat brush from Sephora, but I don't think this is made anymore. I bought like a bunch of these Sephora brushes in a set, and then they discontinued the set right after. So I'm just gonna like try to evenly spread this out. Okay, that seems like maybe a little bit light. I bought this because we're going into like fall and winter, so I wanted it to be on the lighter side, but I think that worked perfectly fine. It's not super full coverage, but I'm wondering if I can build it up by just adding the tiniest bit more. I really want to concentrate it like right here where my deepest dark circles are. I'm gonna let that sit for just like half a minute and whip out my powder that I have. This is the Bare Minerals Original Mineral Veil in the original translucent shade. Yeah, I've never opened this. I just got this recently as a like free gift with purchase. Okay, this is a giant cap from my also Makeup Forever. This is the HD Skin Setting Powder in the blurring version, but I'm not using that. I'm just gonna dump as much, oh, that was actually quite a lot. I'm gonna dump some in this cap, but really quickly I'm just gonna finish blending out that concealer just to get off any excess product and melt it into the skin, because I feel like brushes never really blend my concealer into my skin, especially with like how many wrinkles I have under my eyes. I mean, on camera that looks really good. In person, I don't know if maybe it's the shadow because I'm looking down in my mirror, but I do still see some darkness. However, it's nowhere near the excuse me, the amount of darkness that I had under my eyes when I woke up this morning. My voice is already going. I'm gonna take this kind of like fluffy-ish brush. I actually don't think I've ever used this before. I got this in a set from Dose of Colors, so I guess we'll see how this works. But I'm gonna kind of just swirl. This is how much I have in the cap. I'm gonna kind of like swirl this around and like tap off the brush as much as possible, because I'm gonna start with my under eyes. Hopefully this goes well. I feel like there was way more in this brush than I thought there was. I'm just gonna use what's left for the rest of my face. Also, I do want to point out, as always, Roxy did not mean to hurt me, so don't think I have like a crazy mean cat. I know there are a lot of cat haters out there. She always likes to like crawl under the covers and like sleep right on my side, and I guess twitched in my sleep. And then all of a sudden I wake up from my dream with like this pain in my finger because she had like gotten startled from me completely spasming. So she, you know, did what cats do, and she started just like freaking out and trying to run away. Her tiny little claw dug so far into like right in between my fingers. I've pretty much covered my entire face by now. So I'm just gonna take this same brush and kind of like dust away any excess. I actually have no idea how to use this powder really, because this is my first time using it. Can't forget the foundation I put down my neck. I don't think I'll be able to bake with this because I still think it will be not only too heavy, but like when they say translucent, they never really mean for people of color. So I think it would still be way too light. Not that I bake anyway, but just for your knowledge. Here goes my giant mirror again. As far as finish on my face, I do think that did a good job of like, my skin doesn't feel tacky at all. I think it really set and kind of like locked in that foundation without making me look super dry or matte, because like I do look mattified, but I don't look matte, if you catch my drift. Now the product I've been most excited to try, this is my Hourglass Swan palette. This is the Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked. Swan is the full name. I bought this the day it released on the Sephora website, but I still haven't used it because I don't know what I've been doing other than using this, but this is what it looks like. I'm so excited because this is actually my first Hourglass, not only like holiday palette, but I've never used an Hourglass face palette. I think the only thing from Hourglass I've ever used is their stick foundation because it's just such an expensive brand. But I decided this year finally that like all of the shades look like they would work for me, and I watched extensive videos, so I'm really hoping that this does actually work. Here are the swatches of the palette. So you get a finishing powder, highlight, contour, bronzer shade, and then 3 blushes. The orange one in the middle is definitely the most glowy of the 3 blushes. I have swatched this before, but I haven't used it, so I'm not exactly sure, but I have heard some people say that this does have, like, some of the blushes do have a bit of glitter in them. We shall see. I think that today I'm only going to use this mauve tone blush based on, maybe I'll use the pink one too, but based on the eyeshadow that I'm using today, I think it would make most sense for me to just use the mauve. I'm gonna start with this tapered angled brush. I've wiped it off, but I think the bristles are just kind of stained a little bit. And I'm gonna use this bronzer shade. I know that I am going to have to build this up. This is also probably too big of a brush to fit in this pan. But I know I'm gonna have to build this up because I feel like this palette would work really well for me in like the spring or winter when I don't have that much of a tan. I'm still kind of shedding my previous tan, but I know that these shades are buildable. That's kind of just, at least from everyone's claims, that's the nature of this formula. And even just with the second layer, I can already see the bronzer. And I'm just gonna put some here to make some semblance of a cheekbone, hopefully. Yeah, I think that works perfectly actually. It only took 2 layers on my forehead. My forehead tends to be darker than the rest of my face, so I usually need something deeper, and then it just took 1 layer on my cheekbone. Maybe I'll add the excess right here. Just, I need some help on my face. I'm really liking this so far. It's like warm, but not too orangey warm. I'm really happy with that. I feel like sometimes when I put on my bronzer, it can kind of like mattify things even more than the rest of my face if my face is glowy, but this is pretty much the exact same finish as that mineral veil powder on top of my foundation. So it's like mattified but not flat matte. Now I'm gonna take this brush from e.l.f. that's like it's supposed to be a foundation brush, I guess. And I'm just going to tap in once into this blush because, I mean, I do have deeper skin than I'm sure many of the people saying that, but I have heard that this blush is pigmented, so I'm just going to be careful just in case. But, oh yeah, I would say like that's decent pigment. It's not, definitely not scary or too pigmented for me. But considering I only tapped in once, I would say that's decent payoff. And just doing the same for the other cheek. I kind of want that to blend a little bit farther out, so I'm gonna take a tiny bit more and just like very lightly, I'm not pressing into my cheek, so I'm just like very faintly brushing everything on the entire expanse of my cheekbone. This is really, really pretty, and I don't see any glitter, so at least in the mauve shade, there's nothing. It possibly might be that orange shade because that one is pretty glowy. I'm just gonna do the same thing with this cheek. I did want to mention again, even though I feel like broken record, that blush was not like noticeably glowy, but it does give like just kind of a natural finish on my cheeks. Now I'm gonna take this brush, also from Sephora. It's like a highlight brush, but this is not made anymore, unfortunately. And I'm just gonna tap in once and then tap off my brush once and kind of focus this on this part of my face. Just like, I feel like this is 2016. Just the high points of my cheekbone. There's no glitter, but this is shimmery. So this is a shimmery blush, or not blush, highlight. I'd be really interested to see what this looks like in natural light, but at least just from here, you can tell that it is highlight, but it blends very well into the skin. So even though like it's obviously highlight, it doesn't look like cheap, you know, glittery, harsh, super icy, frosty highlight. I'm very happy with this palette so far. I feel like this would be a good all-inclusive palette. I mean, I do have a finishing powder in here that I also want to try on top of everything. Maybe I'll just try this finishing powder, which looks a little bit light from my skin. I think I'll first try it just all over this cheek, and then depending on how that looks, if it's not too glowy, I'll put it on the rest of my face to give myself maybe just a tad bit of a glow. I've never used one of these finishing powders from Hourglass. Oh, that actually really did kind of like bring everything together. Like you can still tell where the highlight is, but now it just kind of fades perfectly into the rest of my cheek. That is really pretty. Okay, you know what? I think I'm just gonna dust this around the rest of my face just to see what happens. I don't want to put too much on my chin because I get really oily in my T-zone. That's such a nice finish. And I probably should have said already, but that finishing powder is the shade Dim Light, and this highlighter is the shade Golden Hour. The bronzer is Natural Bronze. The first blush is Luminous Coral, like the pinkier blush. The orangey blush is the shade Sunset Flush, and the final mauve blush is the shade Mauve Fusion. I always spray my face right after I finish all of my face makeup, so this is the Tarte LifeLock Hydrating Setting Spray. It says shake well. I actually don't know anything about this. I got this as a free gift with purchase in some like Ulta bag, but I guess we'll see how this goes. Okay, the mister was a lot more gentle than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, this didn't, I mean, there's one kind of bigger drop, but this didn't leave any, other than that one drop, it didn't leave any big drops on my face, and it definitely didn't leave like the, I know this has been reformulated, but the old Urban Decay mattifying setting spray used to leave white drops all over my face. So I mean, nothing bad to say about this so far. Finally, moving on to eyeshadow, I have the Urban Decay Moondust palette. This is the the Urban Decay Moondust Quad is the full name. This is, I think Urban Decay did this last year, potentially the year before that, but for sure last year because I bought it. They also did this Moondust Quad. I actually have it here because I still use this all the time, but this is last year's, and as you can see, there are like 4 different shades. There are like 2 more warm shades and then 2 cooler shades, and then 2 are kind of just like regular like metallic shimmer shades, and then 2 are the actual Moondust formula. This one though, I haven't swatched it, so I guess we'll find out on camera together, but this one looks like it's just all purple shades, and potentially they could all be that, maybe except for this one, but it looks like they are all of that like high impact sparkle. Here are the finger swatches. I'm so excited. These look so pretty. This is what the quad looks like swatched out, and I was right. This shade looks less to be like a Moondust and more of just like an iridescent, still really beautiful. This first one seems to be the most like Moondusty out of all of the shades in this Moondust palette. Like it does have that same finish as, you know, like what's it called, Space Cowboy, the one that's the most popular. And if I'm saying this correctly, the shades are Cosmic Quartz, Solar Drip, Rock Solid, and Starry Haze. I'm trying to decide which one I want on my eyes because they're all so pretty. I think I'm gonna layer these 2, so it would be the second and third shade in the palette. Because I have that mauve, like pink leaning mauve shade on my, or it looks pink on me because of my undertones, I want to kind of recreate that on my eyes as close as possible. So I'm gonna start with this shade first, and I'm just gonna get a little on my finger and tap it on. Wow, this is so pretty. Okay, you know what, I know I'm going somewhere after this, but I think I want to use all the shades in here, so I'm gonna do those 2 on this eye and then use the other 2 on this eye. But I'm just gonna tap this one on top, that last pinky shade in the palette. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. Now I'm gonna start with this more purple shade and then top it with this kind of icy shade. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. This one also is kind of more of that like Moondust shade, but I think the icier one does have like that more kind of like intense sparkle. This top one also seems to be like more of a flaky shade, so I'm gonna kind of like make it a little less concentrated and just tap that on. Oh my gosh, that is like some intense icy sparkle. I really hope you can see that in the camera, just like how pretty that is. Maybe if I like lower my lighting, I don't know if that helps, but that is so pretty. Okay, I know I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this. Not only do I love purple eyeshadow, but I just love having these like really pretty topper shades, because I feel like I've been getting a little bit bored of just using the same kind of metallics every single day on my eyes, and I've been through the car speeding down the road, but I've been having a lot of fun using these topper kind of more iridescent or just like twinkly shades on top of the shades that I've been panning. So I'm very happy that I got this. I don't even have anything to comb through my brows with because, oh, actually I do. But I usually use something else that has its own comb. I'm gonna wipe this comb off because it looks a little grody, to be honest. And try to tame my brows as much as possible because they really need a touch up desperately. I'm gonna start with the pencil side of the brow blade. This is like a dual-ended brow pencil and like pen brow marker. I don't really know. And this is a good pencil. I've just gotten so far away from using pencils in my brows because I've been really liking my routine of like, I usually do tinted brow gel, then I can't talk. I usually do tinted brow gel, then a clear brow gel on top to kind of like make it look more natural, and then I go in with my like the brow pen side of this. I've been pretty much neglecting the pencil. So this is what the Benefit brow setter looks like. This is just a mini version that I have, but there are two sides. I think that's worse. There are two sides of bristles on here, one longer on this side and one shorter. I pretty much just use the longer sides because I'm just trying to comb through my brows. I'm not really trying to get too much product on them, and then I just dip back in and do the exact same thing on the other brow. I'm gonna let that dry and then go in with the pen, and while they dry I'm gonna do my lashes. So this is, I currently have two other mascaras open, but I really wanted to try this one. This is the Lash Idole from Lancome. I don't really buy from Lancome, but I'm always getting mascaras free as like gift with purchase or something, so I thought I would just try this just to kind of see what's up. This is what the brush looks like. That's actually kind of weird. Sorry if this is like your favorite mascara. Am I supposed to start with this side and then comb through them with that? That's what I'm gonna try on this eye. And this is just a black shade. This is in glossy black. I'm just looking down at my mirror, but sorry if you can hear my stomach grumbling. There also might not be too much product on the wand because I literally just pulled it out for the first time. Then I'm gonna flip it over and use the longer bristle side. I hate that you're seeing me apply my mascara. I usually always cut this part out. One thing that I'm noticing is this is not adding any volume at all. Yeah, that's not, it's definitely lengthening and separating my lashes, which is really nice, especially since I have this specific eye look, or two eye looks, I guess. It's nice to have something kind of like fluttery and like cleaner, but typically I go for something that is volumizing and lengthening, and I tend to prefer like more volumizing definition over like just the longest lashes possible. Going back in, resetting the wand, maybe it'll look different the second time dipping in. Okay, this is what the lashes look like with the Lash Idole mascara. This is just one coat. I'm not gonna go back in and go over my lashes again. Yeah, I would say this mascara is just so for me, but if you just want kind of like lengthened, separated lashes, this would probably be a good one to try. I don't think this will become a favorite for me. And I'm just gonna shake this a little. And this is the like felt tip brush pen side of the brow blade, and I'm pretty much just gonna fill in like the very ends of my brows. That's typically like the only thing that needs, well, I guess I do have like one or two gaps here and there, but that's mostly what I end up filling in my brows after I use the tinted brow gel. All that's left is lips, so I'm gonna wipe off like the last little remnants of this lip oil from Clarins. It's pretty much like all gone by now. My lips still feel balmy, but it's definitely not glossy, or I can't really feel the oil on my lips anymore. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like my lips do look a little more pink. I don't know if that's just in my head or not, but I probably would not want to use this as like an overnight lip mask because after just like less than an hour, that's already gone. For lips, I have this little duo from ABH or Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is something from, they have like a billion holiday sets. This is one of them. It's a gloss duo. They have two versions of this, and this one is the duo that has Molten, which is a dark brown, and Aurora, which I think is supposed to be like a duochrome gloss that has a flip to it. I don't really know. This is what they look like. Maybe I'll swatch them. All right, this is what they look like swatched. This is Molten. This is Aurora. Aurora is so pretty. That is stunning. And then as far as the applicators, it kind of just is like your typical like paddle brush, not brush, but like doe foot, even though it's not a doe foot. It's like a typical applicator, and it smells, I think I got some on my nose. It smells like kind of like vanilla, but like typical high-end lip gloss smell, if you know what that smells like. I don't know if this is gonna be too intense since I already have the eyes going on, but I'm gonna start with Molten and probably take that off after, but I just want to see what this looks like. Oh, this is a really thick gloss. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to go back in because this is not really, I'm used to like wearing a NYX butter gloss that just spreads so easily and is like super, not like slippy, but kind of just a more thin formula. But I mean, this probably won't be going anywhere. This is what Molten looks like. It's very, very pretty. But again, I don't think this is gonna go with what I have on today. Okay, now I'm gonna try Aurora just on its own. If it's too intense, I might put something under it, but I kind of want to see what it looks like just on top of the lip. And I shouldn't be talking while I'm doing this. That is extremely, that's extremely pigmented. Okay. This is what my lips look like. I do think that the ring light is kind of adding intensity to it, but it still does look very, very intense on my lips. So I think this will have to be a topper lip gloss, but that is so pretty. And I'm kind of, maybe I'll do it when I come home later. I don't really want to wear this out, but maybe I'll have to see like how long this does last on my lips without like budging or fading. Okay, I had not noticed I've been filming for an hour. I need to go in 2 minutes or I'm going to be late to the movie. So I'm just gonna throw on this Sephora gloss. I used it for the first time yesterday. It's their, just like their gloss, lip gloss, and this is in the shade Wild. I do still have like some residue of the previous, I need to stop talking while I do this. I do still have some of the ABH gloss on my lips, but this one gives kind of the same finish but just less intense, and then it doesn't really have a flip to it. It's kind of just purple with like some iridescent blue shimmer in it. It's probably overkill with the purple sparkles on my face, but I don't really care. I need to go. But that is it for this video. So let me know your thoughts. I'll let you know my final thoughts in the description below, and I'll also have everything linked. But let me know if you bought any of these or if you were thinking of getting any of them. Just remember to shop the Sephora sale responsibly. Don't get things just because you saw someone reviewing them or just because someone else liked them. Make sure you only buy things that work for you and make sense for your own makeup collection. But I will just see you in my next video, and until then, I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.